Hey, it's Adam Lavelle, the Wrestling Snob, WrestlingDoneRight.com. You can learn all about me, who I am, how I came into following pro wrestling, Noah, what I've done on the independent business. Wasn't a lot, but, I used to work for about 10 or 11 different independent wrestling companies here in the United States. And I delved into Noah because I believe fully with all my heart and soul, not that Noah is perfect, not that they do everything 100% the way I think it should be done. Nobody's going to do that. But overall, they are wrestling done right. And I believe that about Marigold, too, if you want to follow me on a YouTube channel there. Still working on my lighting. You can see some shadows in here. I'll get it right eventually. Bear with me. But we're going to take a look at the Akitoshi Saito Retirement Memorial Event. It was titled Deathtiny. And no, I'm not impersonating Mike Tyson. It was actually called Deathtiny. A combination of death and destiny. There you have it. Don't love the name, but I understand why. It's a combination of, I think it was the debut show for Saito, Deathtiny, and then something to do with death and his career. Not physical death. I don't know. I don't grasp it completely, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the matches. The first match we're going to take a look at here. I've got my notes on the wrong page. You have to excuse me there. English commentary was provided here by Stu Fulton and Mark Pickering, so that was very nice. I always love anytime Noah provides that English commentary, especially from those two. They're the best. But the show kicked off with a six-man tag team match. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Galeno Del Mal, and Alpha Wolf taking on Junta Miyawaki, Yu Iwata, and Daiki Odashima. So it's juniors against heavyweights, and that's what this match went like. It wasn't a squash. It wasn't anything terrible. I enjoyed it very much. Inaba stands tall against all these guys. Daiki Inaba is special. That's taking nothing away from Miyawaki or Odashima. I'm a big fan of Iwata. I'm not taking anything away from Junta Miyawaki or Yu Iwata, but Odashima just rises above them. He rises above everybody. I'm not even saying he's the best wrestler in the junior division, but I'm telling you, he has so much heart that anytime he's in the ring, I'm just having a blast watching him. It is great stuff, and it was like that here as well. Major weight differences here, like I said, heavyweights against junior weights. Iwata I felt like he was doing a little bit more high flying here than he normally does. Not that he doesn't do any. He is a great wrestler. This guy, I can praise Daiki Odashima every day, but Iwata is my favorite young guy. Not just junior heavyweight, just the young guy in the business. I see greatness in him, and I just saw more aerial maneuvers from him here, I think, than what is typical, but it wasn't enough. The heavyweights win this much. Dr. Wagner pins Iwata. Solid match, very enjoyable, nice way to kick off this show. The second match was Muhammad Yane, Shuhei Taniguchi, and Asuka taking on Hitoshi Kamano, Anthony Green, LJ Cleary, Eita, and Harutuki. I think I missed some people here. Let me do that again. Muhammad Yone, Shuhei Taniguchi, Asuka, and Hitoshi Kamano taking on Anthony Green, LJ Cleary, Eita, and Harutuki. Again, and I like this Harutuki kid, and I'm probably saying his name wrong. Harutoki. I think he is very impressive. I'm telling you, Odashima, Iwata, and now Harutoki, those three are the future of Noah. There's no doubt about it. I like everything about these four guys. He just does countless things in this match that impresses me. LJ Cleary shows off a little bit too much. I don't dislike him. That's not really a big slight against him. He's a great wrestler. But his hair flipping and stuff, it's borderline comedic at times. I just wish he'd settle down and wrestle, because when he wrestles, he's very solid. Just a little bit too much of it. It reminds me of a guy who I don't even know if I want to say his name. The Me Too movement ran him out of the business. David Starr. I was a big fan of David Starr. Big fan. And unfortunately, he was involved in some messy stuff that he's no longer even in the business anymore. But that is who the prancing and the hair flipping reminds me of. Now, not that David Starr did all those things, but he taunted a lot. He was the king of taunts, right? It's one of his many nicknames. LJ Cleary puts me in the mind of him, and I wish he'd settle down with it a little bit. But Eita wins this when he makes his, former partner Taniguchi tap out. Where has the mask gone? Where has the Maibach Taniguchi mask gone? Stu and Mark mentioned it in their commentary here, which was nice to hear, but it played into this in no way. Will it come back? I don't know. I'm not a giant fan of it. It's a little bit silly for me. But in another way, I kind of like it that putting that mask on brings something crazy out and Taniguchi, because the man needs something. He goes down here. Again, did he lose all that weight for nothing? Or is he going to do some more things in the junior division? I don't know. I don't know where this is going. We'll have to wait and see. The third match was Keno, Alejandro, and Kai Fujimura. All Rebellion, baby. Taking on Hitoshi. Nope, skipped it up. Sorry, guys. Trying to follow my notes here in this weird lighting. Goji Ozaki, Atsushi Katogi, and Hajime Ohara. Team Noah took on All Rebellion. Again, Kano Alejandro and Fujimura versus Shiozaki, Katogi, and Ohara. Very good. Very good unit battle. I like when these factions fight. I like when we have unit/faction battles. Just brings a little bit more into it, in my opinion. I mean, we got the individual fights here. You know, we're always going to have Keno versus Goji Ozaki. That's always going to be a money one-on-one, or when they get together in a multi-man match. Always going to be big things. But I really like when you add this faction unit battle. I like this All Rebellion versus Team Noah. Keno versus Goji Ozaki, like I said, is always worthy of seeing, always something you want to experience. But Alejandro continues to be a house of fire. He goes down here. Goji Ozaki does pin Alejandro, but let me tell you what, he looked like $1 million bucks all match long. I think this guy, I don't know if he's capable of gaining more weight or getting any bigger, but part of me thinks he needs to go into the heavyweight division eventually. I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe his frame isn't built for more weight. That's possible. But I think of a guy like Rey Mysterio who put on the weight. I'm not saying that Alejandro needs to go get on human growth hormone or something, but I think he needs to do something like that. But it was Giozaki's lariat that nobody can overcome. Very few, and Alejandro didn't. It went down here in a very good matchup. I recommend this one for sure. The fourth match was our first singles match. I was looking forward to this a lot. Ulka Sasaki taking on Jack Morris, the heel, the son of a bitch that will do anything to win. And this started out as a big brawl. They fought. They were outside the ring immediately. It wasn't a minute in. I don't think it was that long until they were outside the ring for fighting. It was the first time these two have faced each other one-on-one. How crazy is that? They faced each other in multiple tag matches, and more than half of them ended in DQs. But this was their first singles match. Morris and Tatsu, subtle rule breaking all match long. But I love it. I love having a real heel faction. Not as crazy and wild as over the top as something like House of Truth in New Japan or the Hate group in Stardom. That's a little bit too much for me. But a heel group that subtly cheats, subtly breaks the rules, subtly works behind the ref's back is money. It is magic, and I love it. And Morris did that, but it was not enough. Morris did hit his Tiger Driver, but Ulka Sasaki kicks out, finishes Morris with that backdrop suplex, just drops him straight down and hooks him, and that was enough. Morris could not get out of that for sure. And so Ulka Sasaki's bout with Nakamura, coming from the WWE, who has just reemerged from the shadows, attacking U.S. champion LA Knight. Face paint and all, different look for Nakamura, will be coming to Noah in the new year to face Ulka Sasaki, coming off this big win of a very talented and now rule-breaking underhanded Jack Morris. I really enjoyed this one. The next matchup was Manabu Soya and Kazuyuki Fujita taking on Masa Kitamiya and Shuji Kondo. I liked Stu Fulton's comments. He's like, he fist pumped the air when he heard about this match. I get it, Stu. I get it. These are some big, powerful guys just going at it, and that's what we got. You know, people are fond of saying meat slapping into meat. I think that's kind of a goofy saying, but there, I just said it. That's what you got here. Sugi hasn't accepted, at the point of this match started, the national title challenge from the champion Manabu Soya, but we will see. I think that's coming after this matchup. This was very solid. This was very good. Kitamiya and Shuji Kondo. Masa Kitamiya and Shuji Kondo win this when Masa Kitamiya pins the national champion Manabu Soya. Wow. That's huge. Masa Kitamiya is always, the belle of the ball that leaves without the prince or what have you. He's always invited to the big matches, but hardly ever wins them unless they're tag matches. He's a multi-time tag team champion. And I like Manabu Soya. He has worked his butt off to become better than he's ever been. So I don't really want to root against him. I don't want to root for him to lose that national title. But if he would ever lose it to Masa Kitamiya, I think I would fist bump the air and do a little dance. I mean, again, not because I don't like Soya. I do. And I like Fujita as well. I know some of you don't. I enjoy his stuff. He's a mean old man that's getting in there to stretch somebody. I love it. But while Shuji Kondo was the one who was challenged earlier by Manabu Soya, it was Masa Kitamiya who pinned Soya. So he's got to have a title match coming up. Maybe he'll have to face Shuji Kondo. I don't think so, not after he's pinned the champion. I don't know. But what's up with this challenge when the other teammate in this match is the one who pinned the champion? What do you guys think of that? Where is this going to go? Kitamiya has to get a title shot, right? And it has to be soon. And it has to be before Kondo, because what has Kondo really done to earn one? Not that he's not a great wrestler, but Masa Kitamiya earned it here. He earned a lot of things here, in my opinion. The next matchup, the sixth match, was the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. It was the Rattels fighting one another. It saw Hayata and Yohei take on Tadasuke and Yuto Kikuchi. Forgive me, guys. Again, I sometimes struggle with these Japanese names. I desperately want to be able to say them right all the time, but my tongue betrays me. Tadasuke and Kikuchi dominated this for the first 5 minutes. They look like the best junior tag team in the world. I mean, seriously, watch this. Now, Kikuchi pulled out his old school, his walk the top rope while holding their opponent's hand, which I haven't seen him done for several matches. I haven't seen him do it, and he did it here. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I hate that move. I hated it when Undertaker did it. All the opponent has to do is pull or push you, and you're done. You can tell it's a delicate balance, and holding your opponent's hand is what is allowing you to maintain that balance. It's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. It was just a small part of the match. Kikuchi with that rope walk, back and forth. After the first 5 minutes went by, where I said Kikuchi and Tadasuke pretty much dominated and looked like $1 million, after those 5 minutes, it was back and forth the rest of the way. Okay, Tadasuke was the star of this match. Everybody looked good. Everybody. But Tadasuke, I don't know. You just watch him and you think, why in the hell isn't this guy a multi-time junior champion? I'm talking 4, 5, 6 times. He is great. That spinning toe hold takes you back to the days of Terry Funk. He is incredible. He really is. But I think what happened here, there was a lot of false finishes going down towards the end of this. A lot. Borderline too much. But Hayata hits the 403 impact on Kikuchi and pins him 1, 2, 3. They all hug and make up when it's all over. The Rattels stand strong. Still your junior champions, Hayata and Yohei, who will step up to challenge these two next after this great matchup. The 7th match was for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Guys, Daga, the junior champion, part of Team 2000X, is becoming one of my favorites. He is just an incredible worker. He's challenged by Dragon Bane. Also an incredible worker, but more of a high flyer. And what Daga said in the weeks leading up to this turned out to be true here. If you clip these guys' wings, they don't know what to do. And while I won't go that far about Dragon Bane, Daga's strategy worked. Daga doesn't care. Stu and Mark said on commentary, again, great job, guys, that Daga doesn't want to do high fly fancy moves. He can. You think Daga can't lucha with the best of them? You better believe he can. He doesn't want to. First, he's a heel. He doesn't give a shit if he pleases the fans. Secondly, he's a hell of a worker. And my favorite wrestlers are the workers. If you don't know the difference between a worker and a performer, I don't know what to tell you. Workers make you believe. Performers make you pop for fancy moves. That's the shortest explanation I can give you. And I'm not insulting Bane here. I'm a big fan of Dragon Bane, and I'm thrilled to see him make this spot and get this title shot. But let me tell you what, I think the tide turned when Dragon Bane ran, leaped on the top rope, did a moonsault, a backward flip onto Daga over the barrier. He didn't hurt himself, but I think he shook himself up. Folks, I have seen horrible injuries from moves like that personally. I have been in the the Ring of Honor shows in the ECW arena, and I've seen a young man whose name I forget now because he's been out of the business for a number of years. I wish I could remember it. He did a flip very similar to what Dragon Bane did and hit his shins on the guardrail and broke one of them completely in half, and he's never fully recovered. He's walking and everything, thank God, but he can't wrestle. He's done. And I don't want to see that happen. I wish these guys would look. Extreme flippy dippy moves are cool in a way, but man, don't put your career on the line, Dragon Bane or anybody else. But I think that turned the tide. Every time Bane got going, Daga slowed him down. Daga stopped him every time. I'm not saying with an incredible move or amazing wrestling. He worked him down. He wrestled him down. He slowed him down, and he won it with Diablo wings. And it was a great match, and I'm a huge fan of Daga. And I'm also a big fan of the man who stepped up to be the next challenger here, Eita. Eita comes out, challenges Daga. They speak back and forth in Spanish. I have my earbuds and forgot to put them in because we had English commentary, so I didn't think of it. But it was a challenge. Daga did accept. For the New Year's show, we will see Daga versus Eita, which will be amazing. We're almost to the end already. I feel like I've been moving kind of fast here, guys. But Akitoshi Saito in his retirement match. God bless this guy. A Japanese legend, a Puresso legend. He is one of the biggest names out there. New Japan and then settling down in Noah for a number of years. Taking on Naomichi Marufuji. Not a youngster by any stretch. I think, how old is Marufuji? He's in his 50s? He's definitely in his 40s. But this was still sort of the new style versus the old style. And it was everything you would think it was. It was both men using that fighting spirit against each other just to see who could overcome, just to see who could last the longest, just to see who could take abuse and keep moving forward. And both guys did it and did it all match long. But it was Marufuji, the younger of the two, of course, outlasting Saito, outlasting him, winning the match. But when it was all over, they hugged and shook hands. Muhammad Yone was in tears. Many people sad to see the great Akitoshi Saito hang it up. And he did announce that he will remain in Noah. He will be working for them. I imagine he will be training. He will be doing other things. But this is a must-see matchup. It is a slower-paced match because Saito is old school, legitimately, and I love it. I could watch matches like this up and down the card, filling them out, because this is what wrestling is to me. And I miss wrestling being like this all the time. And I didn't have to miss it for the next match either because it was back. Kaito Kiyomiya defending the GHC title against Takashi Zagura in another sort of old school matchup because Kaito Kiyomiya has learned from Keiji Muto to slow it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. He's also learned how to be tougher, how to give a better presentation. He got rid of that stupid peacock robe. I mean, for a while, I thought I didn't even like Kaito Kiyomiya. He came off too simple, too, I don't know. He wasn't goofy. He's never been a comedy guy, thank God. But too modern day, too milquetoast, too weak. Even though he's a good wrestler, great wrestler. But that's starting to end. He has learned to toughen up. When you can get in there with the killing machine and take everything he has to give and dish it back out and beat him, because Kaito Kiyomiya did it. He concentrated on his legs. He locked on a figure four. He hit numerous shining wizards, including one off the top rope that you have to see to believe. I mean, they were both up on the top, and Kaito downed Segura from the top rope by hitting a shining wizard from just this close in front of him. You have to see it to believe it. It isn't one of the best moves of all time in wrestling, but it was incredible. But no, Segura hit Kaito Kiyomiya with the avalanche brainbuster, with the running knees, with everything he's got, and Kaito Kiyomiya survived, overcame, measured him up as if he was Keiji Muto, and finished him with that modified shining wizard to win and retain. Kaito Kiyomiya really impressing me as of late. He's still not my favorite wrestler, but I respect him now. Before, I really didn't have much respect. He was, like I said, he was too milquetoast is the best word I can think to describe it. Just a little bit too, I don't know what word to use. But he's gained my respect. He's the head of all rebellion. Keno has taught him everything he knows. That is clear. Keiji Muto and Keno. You take those two wrestlers and they dump everything they have inside of Kaito Kiyomiya, and this is what you got. One of the best wrestlers in the world today. And he's given a speech at the end. All Rebellion is in there with him. looking proud, looking strong, looking good. And all of a sudden, as Kiyomiya continues to talk, Taishi Ozawa attacks him from behind with his crutch. I mean, he beat him down. He beat him down. And out came 2000X and beat up the rest of All Rebellion and ran him out of the ring. And they stood there and celebrated with Ozawa. Ozawa said he never liked Kaito Kiyomiya. Kiyomiya is the one who invited him into All Rebellion. And he said, I'm not interested. I came in here just to betray you, just to wait for my moment. And it arrived, and I took advantage of it. And he posed with a big, crazy-looking, bug-eyed look on his face, holding the head of Kaito Kiyomiya in his lap. I mean, this makes Team 2000, Team X 2000 stronger than ever. And Team 2000X, I'm sorry, I reversed that there, makes them stronger than ever. I mean, Ozawa is the future. There is no doubt. They stole a major player for All Rebellion right out from under them, even though Ozawa planned this from the start. He must have approached these guys and said, hey, I can't stand this idiot either. I'm with you, and shook and extended his hand and had it shaken. And the betrayal was completed last night at the Akitoshi Saito retirement show, memorial show. Wow. Wow. What a show for Ozawa to prove that he's as underhanded as it comes. And that heel stable, whether that's an inside term or not, I don't care. It is a perfect heel stable. Now this young guy is going to be in there. Jack Morris, Daga, damn. Yoshitatsu on the outside. I don't know if he's going to wrestle again or not. I don't really care. He's been doing a great bang-up job as a manager. He really has. Doing heel manager stuff that most heel managers today don't know how to do. Most managers today want to just stand outside the ring. A lot of them are women who don't contribute in any way. And the few men that are managers today really don't know what they're doing. It's just unfortunate. I grew up on Jim Cornette, Bobby Heenan, Freddie Blassie, all those managers. And I'm telling you, Team 2000X is taking me back to the days when heel stables and teams were legitimate heels. And this, again, without being over the top, like House of Torture or Hate or what have you. Excellent stuff. Excellent show. This show was a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I can't give it a less score when I loved every match. I enjoyed every moment. There was nothing I didn't like. There's nothing I can say negatively about this show at all. At all. The slightest little negative thing I said was LJ Cleary being a little bit too taunting, being a little bit over the top. But that didn't make me mad or make me dislike him or the match. It's just a comment, offhanded comment, that I think he'd be a little bit better presentation-wise if he slowed that down a little bit. And Kikuchi stopped that stupid old school rope walk holding his opponent's hand. But none of that is going to take a point or even a half a point off this show. I thought has there been better shows? Yes. But I can't not rate a show a 10 if I loved it from top to bottom. What else do you give it if you loved it from top to bottom? And I did. So great show from Pro Wrestling Noah. God bless you, Saito. May you have a wonderful life. Thanks for sticking around, Noah, and helping the young guys out. That'll only make them better. I can't wait for the next show. Until then, I'm Adam Lavelle. WrestlingDoneRight.com. Please help Pro Wrestling Noah out by subscribing to my YouTube. How will you help them out? Because I'll get in the algorithm, and when people look for Japanese wrestling, or if they Great Muta or what is Pro Wrestling Noah, my channel will come up. Right now, I don't know if there's any Pro Wrestling Noah YouTube channels. Forgive me if there is, but I don't think so. There may be YouTube channels where they get talked about, but I don't think there's another one dedicated to it. So fans looking for wrestling done right, pure so Japanese wrestling, whatever they might search in YouTube, if you guys will get me more subscriptions, I'll show up more often in the algorithm and word will get out about this incredible company. Until next time, I'll talk to you again before you know it.